Just so you know, the frame drops and performance issues you see in the video is not your internet, it is my PoE.
Annihilation. The fires of 1,000 suns. You do not have the strength capturing.
That may be, but I am not alone.
How pathetic. The fires of 1,000 suns. Incineration. Annihilation. Disintegration. Cleansing. The fires of 1,000 suns.
The prize piece comes to join.
My collection.
Pain will be returned tenfold. Space aligns. Behold my collection.
I will have what I want. Death will not be an escape. Scurry, scurry. Stand still.
Death made real.
Take this. Cascade of pain. Why?
Resistance will be punished. Time contorts. Scurry, scurry.
My irritation is growing. It will not be an escape.
Okay, so this is my character import, and I'm just gonna run over this real quick. Just keep in mind this character is made for bossing specifically, and this is the Uber bossing version. There's also a valdo version uh, that I think, I mean, I haven't tested, but it looks pretty valdo viable, and off of what I just did for the Uber bosses, I think that should be true. But just gonna go over some important things. So first, Supreme Ostentation. Oh, I actually missed a tattoo. I just realized that. But yeah, tattoo, every node on your tree. Oops. Tattoo every node on your tree. There's two more dex nodes here, but there's not really a breakpoint I can hit with suppression or like anything else. So it's not too important. For the hubris, is frenzy charge, endurance charge generation, and energy shield per power charge. But it's pretty important that if you're gonna get a different hubris, you still want to get one on the caster mastery because the mastery still stay the same, and you really want power charge while channeling. So that's gonna be your power charge generation. And this also let you generate power charge before you start to fight. So your energy shield actually goes up to the correct number. Other than that, we're running Rot Blood, really good. Treachery and Fortress on every CI build. We are running Treachery with Anger, but you can see in the bosses it doesn't really matter that much. You want one Septic Spells to cap out our crit chance. Um, Make sure you have 5% chance for 15 Wither to really make sure you have like 15 Wither all the time because it can be harder for uptime on this build and you don't have like as many like hits as something like Molten Strike with Nimbus. Other than that, Instant Leech is good, but on Ubers you can for sure go for Total Recovery, which is what I did because it sometimes it just feels a lot better to go out of like some undamageable phase that you got damage and like you don't you don't do enough damage for the leech to pop off, so you want the increased total recovery. um let's see, yeah, not much else other than that. I think for the tree, the skills is immortal cold frost shield conditional, as you saw. Arca brand and bane is your curses, which is why you need anathema and 5 power charge. um and then yeah, uh the rare gear here is pretty cheap. I think relatively efficient too. A lot of just woe essence spamming. Basically all of this except for the boots. The boots, if you can like, what I did is I just gambled a fracture. And since I hit the energy shield, I use the other essence. If you get lucky and you hit the fracture on the reduced, then it should be easier just spamming woe and then multi-modding it. Other than that, config, everything here should be up. This is averaging out punishment, so you take low life. Since you take low life, you can untick this because we take knife in the back, and then you get you average out knife in the back too. For certain bosses, you can for sure take debilitated, like I think Shaper, Neglect, like those bosses. All the attacks come from them, and they're like constantly hitting you, so they will be debilitated, and the attacks that you're receiving comes from the debilitated monster, or essentially like it's debilitated. So numbers are pretty good still without it, I think, for like Uber bossing. But yeah, everything here uh should be anything weird uptime. And I just want to talk about venting because I still do think that self-casting spells is not great. Venting just happened to be okay because it has like big enough numbers. And it's important because you can run infused channeling. So 14% less damage from hits is quite strong. And like this is, I think, the only thing really holding this up. Um, or else like I don't know. I don't really know what other skill I would be able to use on like a skeleton like this. This is also why I wanted to push it to go into towards something like a valdo farmer. So a lot of the things here are like basically the same. Um, the main change is that you just run all defensive auras and you run Dark Seer instead. So Malediction is really good because when you're doing Valdos, you know, like you're probably doing Feared, and you know specifically that all the enemies are pretty good with Born in the Shadows, pretty good with Malediction. You're just gonna try to get your ES as high as possible. The config here is with two, and don't worry, this is not with like Immortal Call Up. It's with Immortal Call Up. So yeah, like the config here is two because I think once you reach this point, you should be able to pull two enemies at a time so that you can take advantage of 35% less damage taken. Um, it is pretty easy too, because you can pull like a rare enemy and then like you can try not to hit it and only hit like the unique mob, right? In Avada. But like yeah, that you can't have this ticked on for the Uber bossing variant, right? So this is what it looks like with two, and this is what it looks like with one enemy. It's still pretty good, and of course your damage goes up. Um, but I think this is still like doable on like a lot of maps. The main maps that you can't farm with this is like anything that requires like damage basically. It has like 30 mil damage on 18 stage, and you're gonna be like sitting there hitting it. So this is probably like low, like mid tier Glad Molten Strike damage, maybe higher. Because I know the Glad one, the Glad Valdo Farmer is pretty easy DPS too. But yeah, it's okay DPS for like a Valdo Farmer. It's not like anything crazy. Um, I think there's a pretty good argument here for Soul Drinker instead of Born in Shadows, but um, I'm not a Valdo farmer, but just off of the feeling, like you can sustain a lot more, and these numbers shouldn't need to be this high, so you would rather just get overleash instead, and like you can specifically tank stuff through your conditional, so you just press like IC or FS, and then like the rest should be fine. But yeah, one more thing I want to show is the kind of most budget version I was able to come up with. And I think the Consuming Dark and Sinner Saint is pretty cool. There's also a pelting build I made, but I think that skills that skills even worse than this. But there's some cool stuff in here, like enduring focus instead. Since we don't have mage blood, we have to kind of run trader. Of course, triple flash for max res, or else it's quite hard to get your um, Ella hit up, and this is with debilitated, this without. But yeah, it's still pretty good. Um, it's definitely cheaper. You just buy a few uniques. This looks, I mean, yeah, all of these items are like pretty meh. All of these are gonna be suppression, fracture too, and just resist. Like you're just filling out your resist, and this is the same shield. So yeah. Um, but yeah, I think pretty cool bossing build. Different than the usual like assassin bosser, I feel like, and definitely more tanky. I would recommend looking at. I'm not gonna link this like in-game character I have. I would recommend looking at the more refined version I made. because I think these are definitely better, and then the valdo version. And then yeah, the rest of the bosses, so the 8 other bosses that I didn't show, will just be in a separate video in the description with timestamps.